Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. We have our live webinar on campus, and it's your route to top universities in the UK, Europe, and the US. If you are interested in studying your degree with foundation in the UK, USA, or Europe, this webinar is for you. My name is Hugo Bustamante. I'm recruitment manager for Global Studies. Global Studies is an educational agency which helps you to apply abroad. If you're interested in different destinations like the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, Germany, Spain, Denmark, Lithuania, Holland, Ireland, Malta, Cyprus, and others, you just have to contact us. We will help you with all the application process. Here you have our WhatsApp number, our email address, and you can contact us. We will help you with all you need to apply abroad. And now we will have with us here to Samir. He will talk us about on campus. I want to show you something first, please. Please do not forget to follow us in our social media. You can see our webinars in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to see the previous webinars we had, you can search for them there. And you can always, please give us like and you can follow us there. You can find us as Global Studies UK. And as I told you, today we were talking about on campus. If you're interested in top universities in the UK, Europe, and the USA, well, today we will be talking about that with Samir. Hi, Samir. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Fine, Samir. Samir is an on-campus regional manager, and he will be talking us today about the different options we have to apply to the universities in all these destinations.
Yes.
Excellent, Samir. We have now a short video that we would like to share with the audience, please.
Welcome to On Campus. Our programs are designed for international students who benefit from the support we offer in preparing them to progress to their chosen university in the UK, Europe, or the US. Through the partnerships we have, we offer guaranteed progression to over 500 degrees at universities across the world. We offer a selection of different programs and progression to a wide range of universities to ensure flexibility and choice for all students. Our centres are based on the campus of our partner universities, so our students enjoy a true university experience throughout their programme. Going to university is about more than education. It's about experiencing new cultures, developing skills for life, and friendship. We are part of Cambridge Education Group, the first provider of foundation programmes in the UK and a leading international education provider since 1952. On campus. Expert, authentic, innovative.
Okay, Samir, with that the introduction, please, could you explain us more about On Campus?
Yes, so welcome everybody. So as you mentioned, my name is Samir. I am the regional manager here on campus. As the video really nicely showcased, we have opportunities for our international students to study in the UK, Europe, and the USA. We are essentially a provider for you. If you are either unable to go directly to a university, we give you essentially a second chance. So if you had got your grades and you academically weren't able to qualify to go directly to the university, or if you did really well in your academics but your English is a little bit lower, on campus really gives you that second chance for you to study at one of the destinations of your choice and at a university of your choice. As again, the video really nicely said, we offer over 500 different degrees within those 3 different destinations. So Hugo, if you can just move on to the first slide, please. So here really nicely shows all the destinations that we have and all the brilliant partnerships that we have within the universities. So we've got everything from, I'll start off within the UK. In the UK, we have Sunderland University, Hull University, London South Bank. We also have Reading. We have Aston University, which is one of our newer partners. Southampton, again, a Russell Group University, top-ranked university there as well. And then we do have OnCampus London, which is based at Birkbeck, and we have OnCampus UK North, which is based at University of Central Lancashire. Then if we move over to Europe, we have 2 very, very popular destinations. One of them is incredibly popular, and that is Amsterdam and Holland. So where we work with the University of Amsterdam. And we also have Lund University, where we do provide multiple different options for you to progress to universities within Sweden. Can you please move over to the next slide? Here is a really, really nice little area to show you exactly the great facts of the partnerships that we have. So with OnCampus London, which I will go into a little bit more to explain to you exactly what OnCampus London and OnCampus UK North do, we offer opportunities to study at top-ranked universities, top 40 universities in the UK. We also provide opportunities for you to study at a top-ranking universities, which is LSE. We've had a number of our students who've come to OnCampus London and progressed there. And then if you move over to OnCampus Aston, again, top ranking university, top 30 in the UK. It was also voted University of the Year last year. We also have Reading University, which does hold the famous Henley Business School, where you can achieve your AACB as well. Moving over to OnCampus UK North, one of the most dominated and most requested degrees that we have within the world is medicine, which is what we hold on Campus UK North. We also have Sunderland University, which is brilliantly located, affordable university. Hull University, again, well known for its engineering programs. London South Bank, we have architecture opportunities available. We have engineering in a central London location. Amsterdam University, well, there's nothing much more I can say in terms of ranked 61 in the world, so top 100 university in the world. So you have the opportunity to study in Holland to then study at a top 100 university in the world. Lund, again, very well ranked, great opportunities for finance and MBAs. And then we do have our USA options as well. We have Illinois Institute of Technology, ranked 114th actually now in the US, where it's really well known for its graduate programs, really well known for its return on investment for students who study in the US. The US always has this idea of being too expensive, but IIT does have that return on investment opportunities there. And we also have OnCampus Boston, which is based at Curry College. That is, again, very similar to something I mentioned on Campus London and on Campus UK North. I'll go into a little bit more, but essentially what we do with these on-campus branded centers is you study there for 1 year, and then you can progress to one of your universities of your choice. And we do have some official partnerships, as you can see from the bottom, with Elon, IIT, which is already one of our providers, Cincinnati. So you could become a transfer student, which is very popular in the USA. So do 1 year with us and then progress to another university afterwards. Next slide, please. If you go to the next one. So this is just kind of giving you an idea of the locations, our centers, and understanding. Now, you're probably wondering, since I began this presentation, of what is on campus? What do you do that's different? I mean, I touched on it a little bit earlier. Essentially, we provide you a second chance, really. So you can either increase your English level. So as you know, with a lot of direct universities, they are looking for high level of English. And if you've fallen behind in either your IELTS or your TOEFL scores, or your Duolingo, we essentially come to you, or you can come to us to do the foundation, do 1 year, improve your English, improve your academics, and then progress to the university of your choice. We also provide expert progression support. So if once you've completed your first year in your foundation or your international year 1 or your pre-masters, we would be there. Our team based on the campus of the universities will be there to say, okay, now this is the grade that you've got. You can either go here or you can go here. So that's essentially what we do. Next slide, please. Now, as I've already probably repeated a number of times, on campus London, on campus UK North, on campus Boston. So what we really offer is we offer either one-to-one pathways, which is, here you can see the list: Aston, London South Bank, Sunderland, Reading, Hull, Amsterdam, Southampton. All of these centres are based on the campus of the university. So from day one, you'll be treated like a university student. So in terms of accommodation, in terms of the lecture rooms, blended learning, so you'll be doing partly with on campus, partly with the university. This is what we do. You do the first year with us on that campus of that university, and then you'll be guaranteed, as long as you pass your pathway, to progress to that university. And that is really, really important, because as an international student, you will be coming to a new country, you'll be studying a new education system. And when you progress directly to university, the first thing you'll notice is you'll go into a room, or your lecture room, or your seminar room, and there'll be a number of people there. There'll be lecture rooms can be up to 50, 60, 70 students. When you do the pathway with on campus, essentially, let's just say if you do the foundation, you'll be doing that in no more than a class of 20 to 25 students. And that really, really is important, because it gives you time. It gives you a bit more comfortable environment. And in order to do that, you will then have a higher chance of progressing. So that is what our one-to-one pathway is. You do the first year with on campus, and then you'll be progressing to that university, and you'll be always on the campus of your university choice. So Aston, let's just say you wanted to go to Aston and you want to do engineering. First year of your foundation would be in Aston, and the second year would be in Aston, third year in Aston, and fourth year would be in Aston. Next slide, please. And when it comes to many pathways, as I said earlier, on campus London, UK North, Lund, also on campus Boston can be included in this list as well. What that really means is you do your first year at one of our centres. So London is based at Birkbeck University, which is centrally located, like 10-minute walk to King's Cross train station. You do your first year there, and then you would be supported by our team, where you would go through the Ucas system to progress to a university of your choice. That is essentially what it is. So if you didn't really know, as you're like, I really want to go to LSE, I really want to go to a top 20 university, but my grades are just slightly a bit lower. What can I do? Where can I get the extra support? You can do that through On Campus London, or you could do that through On Campus UK North. Or if you wanted to be outside of the UK, wanted to go somewhere else, Sweden, you can also do that. So you do 1 year with us, and then the second year would be progressing to the university of your choice. If you go through the UCAS system, you apply to 5 universities. If you don't get your first choice, you go into the second choice. If you don't get your second choice, you end up going to your third choice. That's how it really works with the UCAS system. Next slide, please. So I've been talking a lot about foundation, international year 1, master's foundation. You're, again, wondering what the difference is between going onto a degree and going onto a pathway. Now, we offer essentially 3 levels of entry points at an academic level. A foundation is essentially equivalent to if you've done your IGCSEs or you've done an IB program and you haven't essentially got your grades, you would do the foundation as a top-up, not a top-up, but as year 1, and then you progress onto the first year of the university program. If you've done what is equivalent to an A-level, you can actually join at an international year 1. International year 1 is the first year of your university degree, and then you'd progress into the second year of the university program. And then the master's qualifying program is essentially if you've got a degree in your home country and you are looking, you haven't done very well, or you've got a third class honors degree, and you need a bit of a top up before you can do a master's, then that is where our master's qualifying program comes in. So you do 1 year with us, and then you progress onto your master's. So you end up doing 2 years rather than 1 year master's. So that's essentially the 3 different points of entry. Right at the end of that left-hand side, you can see English language preparation. We do provide that at some of our centers. So you could do a 1 term or 2 terms or 3 terms purely English before you progress onto your foundation or your international year 1 or your master's qualifying program. And as you can also see from this slide, we have everything from business, engineering, humanities, sciences, medicine, and art and design. Next slide, please. Now, I kind of already touched on it a little bit earlier, but I just wanted to obviously just kind of give you an idea of what is a foundation. Essentially, the foundation is your support level to before you progress onto the university degree. So a couple of things already said earlier, but smaller class sizes, orientation, induction in university is really important. Higher education advice and support, again, really, really important. And it's purely designed for international students. So everyone, all the classrooms that you'll be in will be all the same level as you. So again, it's really about you and to give you that environment, that study environment, and the time and the support to end up getting the highest level qualification that you can get. Next slide, please. Again, something that we do offer and support, but again, this is actually more to the qualifications of global studies and what they do. And really, I cannot say how great global studies are in this department, but when you need a student visa, again, we do provide different support levels, different opportunities for you to be able to still arrive into the UK or Europe or the USA. We do things like we will check your bank statements. Again, global studies can do the same thing for you. We would then also give you guidance on the best route for you to study in the UK as well. Next slide, please. We also provide Ucas support. So as I mentioned, very, very importantly, it's actually done more on campus London and on campus UK North. You do a foundation, and then you would apply through the Ucas system to go to the university of your choice. The same again happens in your master's degree and also in your international year 1 level. That support is also provided at On Campus London and On Campus UK North. Next slide, please. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through each center and kind of pinpoint the main key areas for each university, and hopefully you will find something in one of those universities where you're like, oh, I actually really want to do that, or oh, I've been really wanting to go to a location like here. So let's start off with our first center, please. Next slide. So On Campus London, you can always move to the next slide as well. On Campus London, as I mentioned, is a one-to-many opportunities. You can see from this list here how high ranking some of these universities are that our students have progressed onto. So we've got Durham, we've got Warwick, we've got Bristol, we've got York, Edinburgh. These are top ranking universities, and you can also see the undergraduate degrees that a number of our students have gone on to. So we've got law. Again, we get multiple applications for law. We've got arts, we've got accounting and finance, we've got economics. Computer science, you can see like all the areas that students go into is very, very, it's competitive, but our students get the opportunity to progress onto these universities. And that is essentially what On Campus London does for you. You can study in a really sought out location in London, central, and then progress onto a higher ranking university. Next slide, please. But we do also offer partnerships. And so we have guaranteed essentially, which means that if you get the level of English and the academics in your first year with On-Campus London, you can essentially apply directly to one of these universities. So Birkbeck, Goldsmiths, Royal Holloway, Queen Mary, the Coulthard, which is purely arts, the Royal Veterinary College, it has it in the name, purely veterinary. You can apply to these universities as well directly. Next slide, please. Couple of highlights about London in general. 30 top universities in the UK are based in London. 6 universities London partnerships we have, and you can apply up to 5 universities as well. Next slide, please. In terms of the options that we have for you to your route, we do, again, cover everything from business, law, engineering, social sciences, humanities, and life sciences. I'd say the one area that On-Campus London does not have, and you may be wondering, is arts. So that is the one thing that we don't do. We do it in a number of other universities. But if you were to look for an arts degree through the On-Campus London option, then that can be a little bit more difficult, essentially because the Birkbeck does not offer a study areas for art students. But again, we do have everything else from business to engineering to humanities to life sciences. Next slide, please. And in terms of pass marks and what you need to do, you essentially will be covering areas of English, maths, economics, law, pure mathematics, sociology, international relations. And then you'll need to achieve a 40% in academics and an IELTS score of 6.0 to progress onto the degree. Next slide, please. We do also offer the University of London Graduate Diploma. This is essentially more of a top-up. So if you've got like a 3-year diploma in your home country, then you can come on to do this, but this is purely for students progressing, and it's designed by LSE for finance. So if you're looking at accounting and finance, then the graduate diploma is a really good opportunity for you, especially if you're going into masters and postgraduate degrees. Next slide, please. And just a couple of little facts here about studying in London. London is home to over 200 museums. The university lectures and faculty visits and experience days will also give you an opportunity to see that. You can see it also here. Itaro, a Japanese student, came and got a distinction. He progressed into MSc in International Accounting and Finance at Queen Mary. Really, really popular university. So again, On-Campus London for me personally is one of my favorite centers. And you can probably hear that in my voice. What I'm really excited about is the fact that I'm impressed about is the opportunity to go into higher ranking universities. Next slide, please. And just to kind of give you an idea of where On-Campus London is, so you can see here, really centrally located, not too far from the Tate Modern Museum, and pretty much in and amongst all the University of London universities as well. So you've got Birkbeck, you've got Goldsmiths as well there, you've got multiple different areas where so many students flock. I've been to On-Campus London multiple times. It's always buzzing with students, restaurants and cafes and things like that, very, very nearby to you. Very, very brilliant in terms of location. Next slide, please. And now we're going to move over to On-Campus UK North. Now, UK North is, I kind of touched on it earlier, medicine. It's essentially for medicine universities. If you're looking to study medicine, then On-Campus UK North is your option. So please, if you can move to the next slide. What we had done here is you've got On-Campus London, and On-Campus London, everyone's aware, London is, in terms of price, it can be a little bit more higher. So On-Campus UK North gives you exactly the same opportunities as London does, but at a lower price. So again, if you're looking for something a bit more affordable in the north of the UK, closer to Manchester, I'm sure many of you know about Manchester University and Manchester United, or also Manchester City, Liverpool, those type of areas, then UK North is not too far from there. And it really gives you that north factor and opportunities for you to progress into more northern universities. Next slide, please. A couple of universities already mentioned. So you've got Lancaster University, #1 university in the Northwest, University of Liverpool, one of the top 25 most targeted universities for graduate recruiters, St. Andrews, #1 for student satisfaction, Manchester University, top 5 for graduate employability, Leeds, one of the largest universities in the country, 38,000 students there, and Durham University, top university in the Northeast. Next slide, please. Now, here, you probably can see from the similarities from OnCampus London, but we do have business, law, engineering, humanities, and life sciences. And again, we do offer the support, the Ucas support, for you to progress on to an undergraduate degree. Next slide, please. A couple of highlights about UCLan, ranked in the top 6.6% of all universities worldwide. Its engineering innovation center spent 35 million on this, 200 million transformation plan, esteemed academics, £2,000 scholarships, annual scholarships available as well once you progress onto the university as well, or all through on campus. Next slide, please. So, routes to medicine, mentioned it already multiple times, but we do provide a medicine foundation program. You can also progress, if you don't want to go into medicine, to pharmacy or physician associate studies as well. One thing to note underline here is that we do need a 6.0 in IELTS, and an interview is required during the admissions process. So that is just something to note if you are looking to do this program. Next slide, please. We do provide progression to other universities outside the UK. If you are looking for options, if you came to the UK and you were like, I don't know about UK, you can then progress onto Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, top 2% of universities worldwide, 90 million invested in its faculty, and 70% undergraduate medicine seats reserved for non-EU students. Again, some of you may have come across this or had issues with this in the past, but the 70% is reserved for non-EU students. Next slide, please. The other option we do have is St. George's University in Granada. So if you're looking for a more exotic destination, you can do the foundation in medicine in UCLan and then progress on to St. George's in Granada. The medicine degree is 5 years, or the veterinary medicine degree is also 5 years as well. Next slide, please. And the last destination we do have is the University of Necosia in Cyprus. Just to note here, if you are looking for this program, it is a 6-year degree rather than 5 years, which you find in the UK or in St. George's or RCSI. Next slide, please. Couple of things about the North. 3 cities you can already see there. Home to the Premier League champions of Man City. Liverpool is also there. Manchester United. So we're about 30 to 40-minute drive away from that destination. If you're into your music, it's fantastic music venues there. Lots and lots of different artists come and play in the North. And it is also a cultural attractions as well. Angel of the North in Newcastle, not too far away for you either. Next slide, please. In terms of where UK North is, like you can probably see Old Trafford not too far. You can also see that in terms of attractions, there are multiple different things within the North. And again, just want to make sure everyone understands, is that we will be based on the campus of the university. Next slide. Now, London South Bank. London South Bank, centrally located, not too far away from the Big Wall, as you can see from the picture. What I would suggest about London South Bank, we always associate ourselves with them, is architecture. So if you did have an interest in architecture, you wanted to study in London, then you can come to us at On Campus London, South Bank. Please, next slide. Couple of really good ranking opportunities here is accounting and finance, law, chemical engineering. All of these are ranked in the top 20 in the 2021 Complete University Guide, and it's also ranked 3rd in London for student satisfaction for mechanical engineering as well. Next slide, please. We also offer guaranteed opportunities for you to study at or work within Goldsmiths or KPMG once you progress onto the university. And there is also 25% yearly merit scholarships as well. And one thing I wanted to note here is when it comes to the visa process, London South Bank and a couple of other universities, which I'll mention as we go through, we do provide a one-stop visa opportunities here. What that means is when you come into the foundation with us, you would get one visa, which will cover you from the foundation all the way to you once you graduate from the university. That does also provide you up to 20 hours of part-time work, unlimited hours when it's non-study time. So again, just to know, London South Bank is an opportunity for you to do that. Next slide, please. A couple of other highlights. We've got graduate students in Apple, Lloyd's, Google, Channel 4, BBC, Foster and Partners. These are fantastic companies. And these are all students who have previously studied at London South Bank. And we are only 15-minute walk away from the River Thames as well. So again, when you're looking for location, if location is something that's really important to you, London South Bank is a great opportunity. Next slide, please. And just to kind of give you an overview of what we offer here. So you can see we offer everything from on foundation as well as international year 1 to the university. So in foundation, we have everything from business, engineering, humanities, art and design. In that is architecture. And if you are looking for international year 1, we do more of that within just business, economics, finance and management degrees. Next slide, please. Couple of other facts about London South Bank. It's just 2 hours to Europe by train. So France, Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands, not too far away. Over 300,000 population in Borough of Southwark. And it was also within the best city for students, which is, of course, London. Next slide, please. A couple of more slides. So we've got over 80 restaurants as well. And then just also the local map here, kind of giving you an idea of exactly where we are based. Next slide, please. Now we'll go on to Sunderland University. You can move on to the next slide. So a couple of facts about Sunderland. 16th for University of the Year Awards, 9th for Student Support, University of the Year for Social Inclusion, over 156 nationalities, and 8.5 million state-of-the-art science complex. So I've been there myself. It's an incredible piece of technology that they have there. Sunderland is very well known for its engineering degrees. Mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, these type of degrees, all available at Sunderland University. Next slide, please. So it is also ranked sports science 15th in the UK, 16th in hospitality and events management, 10th in media and film. So again, when you're looking at particularly courses, Sunderland has a multiple number of different opportunities available for you. Next slide, please. Options that we do have at Sunderland, we have everything from foundation, so international year 1, and we also do have the master's foundation. When you're looking at foundation, we have everything from business, engineering, humanities, and life sciences. International year 1 is purely in business, and a master's foundation as well, purely in business. Next slide, please. We do offer the extended masters, which is essentially the masters within the university. So we have everything from MA marketing, human resources, international business management, tourism as well, all available. And this is a 15-month course, full-time teaching. And it was also available intakes in November will be the next intake available. And then the following next year would be in July 2022. Next slide, please. In terms of where Sunderland is, and it's only 22 minutes away from Newcastle, which is one of the best cities in the world in terms of nightlife. Leeds, only 2 hours away. Manchester, Birmingham, and Liverpool, all a little bit further away within 3 hours distance. Next slide, please. In terms of local, what they have, Olympic-sized swimming pools, always attractions. It's not too far away from 2 miles from Stadium Light. previously known as Sunderland University, were a Premiership football team. Now they're in League One, and over 20 restaurants within the city centre, purely just in the city centre. Next slide, please. In terms of where we are, again, on campus, being on the campus of the university, and not too far away from other attractions like Stadium and Light, where if you look interested in your football. Next slide, please. Now, Reading was one of our newer partners. Now we've been partnered with them for about 2 years. We have developed more and more opportunities with them. So we can move over to the next slide. Couple of little highlights again. Second in the UK for land and property management, 9th for food sciences, 5th in the UK for building work. We do offer law. We do have it's ranked 13th in the UK for pharmacy, which we do have the progression to as well. Next slide, please. Again, 11.4 million invested in the studios for departments of film, theatre, and television. If you're unaware, Reading is really well known for its art and design programs, which we do provide foundation to. Next slide, please. We then, again, are home to the Henley Business School, which is very, very popular, and it is triple accredited. Next slide, please. What options we have with Reading? We do the foundation only, and we do also have the Master's Foundation. Within the foundation, we have business, engineering, humanities, life sciences, as well as single and joint honours in art and design. Next slide, please. It is only 30 minutes away from central London, 25 minutes away from Oxford. Birmingham is 1 hour. Cambridge, home to our head office, 2 hours away. And then Liverpool, Manchester, and Leeds a little bit further away. Next slide, please. Couple of areas to think about within the local area. 3 miles to the Majeski Stadium. Again, Reading used to be a Premier League football team. Now they're a championship side. Cultural attractions as well. Over 100 restaurants within the 5 miles of the city centre as well. Next slide, please. Again, we are based on the campus of the university, not too far away from other areas. And you can see from this map, Reading is a lot more larger when it comes to the location and the area. So we do have 2 campuses, but we are based on the main campus of the university. Next slide, please. Now we're coming to Hull. Hull is, again, we've been partnered with them for around about 5 years now. And we are home to engineering and sciences. So if we move to the next slide. A couple of the top courses that we have: chemical engineering, physics, mechanical, business, and chemistry. As you can tell from here, purely dominating in the engineering department, but we do also have a business school, which holds multiple industry, and it also offers the opportunity for the AACSB. You can apply for that program as well. Next slide, please. A couple of highlights for Hull: City of Culture. It was voted City of Culture. What that essentially means is, if it hadn't been for COVID last year, but it will be remaining the City of Culture until 2021, with annual festivals, films, comedy, science, music, and more. All happens within Hull, and it will be the place to be in the next year as well. We're also official partners of the Team GB partnership, and also awarded the Teaching Excellence Framework as well. Next slide, please. A couple of other opportunities we have: mechanical engineering students can take part in the Formula One program as well, if your students were interested in that. And it is the 14th oldest university in the UK. Next slide, please. Opportunities within Hull: we have foundation within business and engineering. We also have international year 1 within business and engineering. Engineering international year 1 is the first year of your degree. Hull is one of only, I believe, 2 options within the on-campus portfolio that you can do that in. And then we do have the Master's Foundation program within business only. Next slide, please. Only 2.5 hours away from London, and over 260,000 population as well. And York, one of the most beautiful cities that you'll find, is only 1 hour away. Next slide, please. couple of other things to note is over 50 restaurants within the city centre. As you can see, on campus is all about food. And we're about 3 miles away from the KCOM Stadium. Again, Hull, previously a Premiership football team, now they're sitting in the Championship. If you were interested in that, you can have the opportunity to go and watch them. Next slide, please. Again, local map. It will just show you that we're not far. We're within the middle, right in the middle, slap bang in the middle of the campus. So really giving you that university feel from day one. Next slide, please. Now we're going to move over to Amsterdam. So as I mentioned before, Amsterdam is one of our most popular universities we have within the full portfolio. And the large reason for that, and the main reason for that, is the fact that we offer the PPLE program. So if we can just move over to the next slide. So it is ranked, Netherlands in terms of higher education is ranked 10th in the world. It is also voted the 5th best city in the world by students to live in. And in terms of connections and where Amsterdam is, it's fantastic if you're looking to study or travel to London, Paris, Berlin. All of these opportunities are available to you if you came to Amsterdam. Next slide, please. Amsterdam is 18th university in Europe, 61st first university in the world, and one of 2 Dutch universities in the top 100. And this is the QS World Rankings as of 2021. So that you can already see in terms of the opportunities that we have here, Amsterdam University is our highest ranking university. Next slide, please. What we offer is a couple of areas of point of entry. So we offer the business degree if you're looking to do foundation and progress into business, that is available. We also offer the economics foundation degree. And then we also offer the PPLE, which is, I believe, politics, psychology, law, and economics, available to you as well. Then we do have the international business degree. And if you were interested in your master's program, then we do have the economic and business master's degree available to you as well. I will state that the PPLE program is very, very competitive. You do require to take an interview, and you will also require to provide a maths test. If you pass the maths test, you move over to the interview. If you pass the interview, then you progress onto the program. One thing to note is if you came on to do the PPLE program, it is not guaranteed progression. What happens is once you join the program, you will do it. If you pass, you would have an interview with the university, and then it would be up to the university the university make the decision whether you progress into the program or if you're better suited to another degree. We will not leave you like hanging to say, sorry, you haven't progressed, this is it, it's the end of the line. That doesn't happen with ONCAMPUS at all in any of our centers. If this does happen to you, then what we do offer is multiple other options. We will sit with you to find the best route for you afterwards. Next slide, please. Couple of other options that we do have is you have the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences, which is a sister college of Amsterdam University. So if you were unable to progress onto the Amsterdam University, then it's Applied Sciences also available. Or if you were unable to join the foundation at Amsterdam University, you can opt for the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences as well. Students have gone on to do internships in Nike, and starting salaries are 15 to 30% higher for international students. Next slide, please. So the options that we do offer here is the international business degree and the international business fast track degree as well. Next slide, which is essentially allowing you to complete the program in 3 years rather than 4 years. A couple of facts about Amsterdam. 9 in 10 Dutch people speak English. One thing to know, again, this is a big factor when people talk about Amsterdam. Do I have to study in Dutch or anything like that? No, you'll be studying in English from day one. Next slide, please. Over 1,000 restaurants. Again, we're all about food. Over 30 places of worship, over 70 sporting activities available, and under 30 minutes to the Amsterdam Arena, and 8 shopping centers within 8 kilometers of center. If that's something that you love, shopping, then Amsterdam would be the place for you. Next slide, please. Again, we are based on the campus of the university. Next slide, please. And now we're coming to the end. Amsterdam, on campus Lund, Sweden, we have here as well. Next slide, please. So 90% of Swedes speak English. And again, if you were to come and study in Sweden, you'll be studying in English. Sweden is ranked among the top 4 countries in the world for higher education, and is one of the most innovative economic places as well. Next slide, please. What we offer here is essentially covers everything from maths to agriculture to do then progress onto the university. Now, if you didn't want to go to Lund University, then you can opt to progress onto a university of your choice. Our expert university support team will be helping you for that progression as well. Next slide, please. Lund is Sweden's top ranked comprehensive university and is ranked in the top 100 in the QS World Ranking, and choices for international students studying in Sweden as well. Next slide, please. Lund has over 140 attracts students of over 140 nationalities, and is also a member of the International Research Intensive University as well. So if you're looking for a traditional university within Sweden, then Lund will be the perfect option for you. Next slide, please. We do also offer guaranteed progression to Christian University through Lund. So if you are looking for that, then that is brilliant. #1 business administration program in Sweden as well at Christian University. Next slide, please. We do also offer Swedish University of Agriculture Sciences progression as well, 29th ranking in plants and animal. So again, if you're really looking for something a bit more related to sciences and agriculture and animals or veterinary programs, then this program and this university would be for you. Next slide, please. And as with every other university that I've spoken about today, we are based on the campus of the university. Next slide, please. We're coming now back into the UK, and Aston only became a partnership and an opportunity for our international students this year. Aston University was named the University of the Year in 2020. Please, we can progress into the next slide. And it is located in Birmingham, which is the UK largest city just behind London. Next slide, please. Couple of facts about Aston. We have 3 colleges and 12 schools. 3 colleges are within engineering, life sciences, and the Aston Business School. The life sciences program does offer the opportunity to study medicine. There are limited places available for the medicine program, so if you were interested in that, you will need to apply early. It is also has over 140 universities in 40 countries at Aston University partnerships. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, the University of the Year was voted last year for Aston University. So as you can imagine, in terms of what students think about this university, it is at the highest of the highest right now. Next slide, please. Couple of things about ranking. Top 100 in business and management by QS World Ranking. First for added value, 31st for career prospects, and 15th highest earning in the UK 5 years after graduation. Next slide, please. What opportunities do we have for our students? We have everything from foundation to international year 1 as well, and also master's foundation available to you as well. Within the master's, it is for business, and within the foundation, we have everything from business, engineering, humanities, life sciences, and the medicine degree, which I did mention, limited places available. Next slide, please. It is youngest major city in Europe. 2022 Commonwealth Games will be held in Birmingham as well. And as you've probably gathered by now with On Campus, we're all about food, and again, range of shops, restaurants, and bars all available to you. Birmingham, I've been there multiple times. Great city, vibrant city, multicultural city as well, and very, very similar to London, but cheaper. Next slide, please. As you can see, like I mentioned again, shopping is a great opportunities available as well. Next slide, please. Again, with our partnership with Aston, we will be based on the campus of the university and not too far away. If you've been to Birmingham before, Aston is right in the middle of everything in terms of the city. So brilliant opportunity there for you. Next slide, please. And that is it. One thing I haven't mentioned and haven't really delved into, but I think I've given a lot already. One of our newest partners, and you may have seen that from the beginning slide, is that we are partnered with Southampton University, which is a Russell Group university, where we do now offer the opportunities to study foundation in international year one and master's foundation opportunities available to you for that program. So if you did have any other questions or you wanted to find out a little bit more about what you've seen today, you can go on our website at www.oncampus.global, or please do contact the brilliant team that is within Global Studies, and they will provide you more support and information regarding studying with an on-campus university. I would like to now open it up to any questions that anybody does have. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Samir, for your time. I want to remember to people that is joining now that today we are with OnCampus, and we have excellent options with top universities to study in the US and in Europe. Samir Parek is OnCampus Regional Manager, and he is here with us. He looks after the recruitment of students in the UK, Europe, Russia, Ukraine, and Latin and North America. Also, he leads for OnCampus USA centers within the West region. He has been working within the industry for 7+ years, and he will help us now with the questions you have about the universities on campus. And Samir, we would like to know, for example, someone says, I have ESO compulsory secondary education from Spain. Can apply for foundation course to study in the UK?
So he's done secondary education in Spain. Is that secondary education?
I have the ESO, is a compulsory secondary education.
Okay.
And he says if he can apply for foundation course.
Yes. With that, yeah, I believe so. We can accept him for the foundation. It would have to be the foundation. Wouldn't be able to apply for the international year once the first year of the degree. But instead of doing, like, for example, as I mentioned earlier, like an AS level or an extra year of studying in your home country, you can come and study the foundation to then progress into the university afterwards.
Thank you. Samir, we have another question.
Sure.
It says, if I want to apply to study medicine, what options I have in the UK or Europe?
Yeah, so like, as I mentioned in the slides, we do have 2 options now. So we have OnCampus UK North, where you can do the medicine foundation. That does require you to achieve at least a 6.0 in your IELTS score, and you would need to have an interview, and you also need to have some level of work experience to join this foundation program. The type of work experience that you need to do, you will need to either be essentially working with people. So if you took a 1 week with a charity shop or something like that, that provides you that experience of like talking to people and working with people, you can do that. So we do have that at UK North. The other option you do have is with Aston University, but Aston has only limited spaces available. I believe it's 30 spaces available within all regions that we cover. So that's another option. Medicine is available in September intake and also in January.
Oh, perfect. And Samir, what other tips can you tell us about the process for a Spanish or a European student that wants to apply to study in the UK or Europe?
In terms of the tips and options, one thing that we do have is multiple, and I didn't really go into this, but we do have a multiple number of intakes. So we actually have intakes in January. We also have in March, we have in June, and we have in September. That really gives, and especially during right now with the pandemic and everything, it gives options. So if you're getting your results later or things have been held back a little bit longer, we have so many different intakes for you to join our program within the foundation. By joining that program in the foundation, you would have the opportunity to study in the UK, EU, or in the USA as well. Within the USA, we do only really have 2 intakes, which is January and September. But within the UK and EU, within the UK in particular, we have January, March, June, and September. And that really gives students, especially in the EU, if you're waiting for anything, opportunities to study. The other real bonus is being an EU citizen. Obviously, it gives you that little bit of advantage of your qualifications and also the English as well.
Okay. And Samir, what English exams are accepted right now?
Okay, so within the UK, we accept, so I kind of touched on a little bit. I would say IELTS is covered within all of our UK centres and even in the EU. If you join one of our programs where we offer I believe it's our joint CAS, integrated CAS, which is one visa, which is a visa provided by the university, then we can open up a little bit more. So we do accept with that. We accept IELTS, we accept Pearson Versant test, we accept TOEFL. We also have our internal English test that we provide through ONCAMPUS as well. So we can open up a little bit more. But if it's a foundation-only visa, then it's only UK VI IELTS that we accept. Within the US, we do accept Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL. Within the EU, with Amsterdam in particular, Amsterdam only take IELTS. They will only consider IELTS or TOEFL. But I would say IELTS is probably the main one that covers most of our countries.
Okay. Thank you, Samir. And could you tell us, please, if is there any scholarship schemes available for international applicants?
Yes, absolutely. We offer on a case-to-case basis, and it all depends on the university. So because we have so many universities and so many destinations, it does depend on which university that you're applying to. I'll give you an example though. Amsterdam, for example, we offer a €2,000 discount for Amsterdam University, whereas in the UK, for London South Bank, we offer a £1,000 discount. So it all ranges depending on the university. There are no extra requirements needed in order to achieve this scholarship. As long as you're accepted onto the program, we can update the offer letters with that. Within the USA, it's a little bit different. With Illinois Institute of Technology, we offer a $22,000 scholarship, which is per year. So the qualification, for example, international for the degree, undergraduate degree is 4 years, so you'd get a $22,000 discounted every year as long as you progress. If you're doing a graduate program, then there's an $8,000 scholarship. Within Boston, we offer a $20,000 scholarship, and which is essentially a 50% scholarship because the tuition fees are around about $40,000. With that 20K discount, you're paying $20,000 to study in the USA.
Oh, thank you, Samir. And to finish, please, could you remember the students, when is the deadline to apply to study in September 2021?
Okay, so it varies. For Amsterdam, unfortunately, it was last week. So Amsterdam applications have closed now for our September intake, and we'll be opening up soon for the January intake. For the UK, all UK centres, we'll be accepting applications up until August, essentially middle of August, really. And then for the US, Illinois Institute of Technology, the deadline is June the 28th, so it's coming up fast. For Boston, it is, I believe, the first week of August. But for the UK, it is our latest, and we'll be accepting applications all the way up until middle of August for the UK.
Thank you. Thank you, Samir. I know that there is a lot of people that would be interested in applying with you to the different options, the different excellent options you have to offer. And well, I want to remember everyone that Global Studies can help them to apply. And you just have to contact us, and we will be happy to help you to apply to these excellent universities options we saw today. Thank you, Samir, for your time.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all the people that was with us today. Well,
Thank you very much.
We'll
Take care,
see
everyone.
today.
Bye now.